Hey, everybody, we are back again with another company review stock analysis. So, today we're looking at New Holdings. So, they do digital banking. I really don't know much about the company, um, but we're going to get into it, see what we can learn, and I'll give you a review, go over the financials, go over the earnings, all that. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. I think like 90% of my viewers are not subscribed. So make sure to subscribe if you have not. And let's get into New Holdings. So, starting off with New Holdings, they do digital banking services. So, I'm assuming these financial statements are going to be a little unique just based on it being banking. Um, Cost to income is supposed to decrease in 2025 and has decreased in 2024 as well compared to the year before. Return on equity is expected to explode to 27%, although was not reported at all in 2024. But going from 17 to 24% is fairly solid. Risk weighted assets are going to pop up to 22, I'm assuming, billion in 2025, which looks like a fairly good estimate. I don't know what capital ratio is. I don't know what capital ratio is. And number of subscribers at 94,000. Um, oh, actually, 94 million. So, wow, if they have 94 million users, that could be fairly solid. But anyway, market cap is just under 50 billion. So, this is a bit of a larger company, larger than I normally do, but target price is at 14.87. Long-term growth rate is 6%. We're at $10 right now, so it is, according to FactSet, a little bit undervalued, which could be pretty solid. Um, just look at the stock chart here over the past, well, we only have the past 3 years, but it lagged significantly from the S&P and is down a lot over the last few months. So we are going to get into their earnings reports in a little bit, but first we're going to go through their financials. So starting off with the income statement, we have fairly solid sales growth every single quarter. We're seeing increased sales, which is really good. Gross income looks solid. Operating income again is increasing, although we saw a little bit less profitability over the past quarter, just increased sales but less operating income, which is fine quarter over quarter, but it's something to pay attention to. Although net income did pick up the slack, outpacing the quarter before fairly significantly. And it looks like they have been profitable basically since they went public a few years ago. Net income going positive in 2022. So overall looks really, really solid. Shares outstanding is increasing. Looks like a decent amount. They've added about 100. Looks like they added about 100 million shares, a little more than that since they've been public. But honestly, seeing that they have 4.8 billion shares total, that's not too crazy. Really not anything too much to worry about there, but they are selling shares fairly consistently. Going into the balance sheet, we can see some more information. So they have what I'm assuming is billion, yes, in cash, and basically no debt. They have a decent amount of debt. They have 2 billion in debt, but compared to their cash, it is nothing. Their assets have been exploding recently, adding 4 billion in assets over the past quarter alone. You could see 2024 was a massive growth year for them, and I believe this is again in billions. So they have a ton of assets. Most of that, at least half, is in long-term investments, which is really, really solid. Um, but yeah, this is fantastic asset growth. Some of the most aggressive I've seen in a while, and this is just over the past 2 years. They have doubled their assets. Looks really, really good to me. Other than that, moving on. So, as we can see with the cash flows, operating looks fairly solid, always consistently positive. They purchased a lot of investments in the past quarter, and they have been actually on and off for a while now. You can see that capital stock steadily increasing and their debt also increasing. However, in the past quarter, they did reduce debt, which is always good to see, and their free cash flow is consistently positive. Looking through the segments of the company, you could see that massive revenue growth over the past couple of years, as well as let's get into the ratios. So, gross margin looks really solid. Net margin looks fantastic, just going positive. Let's see if we can get some quarters going in here to get some more updated data. And again, across the board, margins look phenomenal. Net margins at basically an all time high. Same thing with gross margin. Honestly, this company looks excellent. Long term debt to total equity is low and even decreasing over the past quarter, which when you're growing like this is fantastic. So, really, really solid. And just because I'm in a little bit of a rush right now, we're going to go right into the earnings. Pause here if you want to read this. Everything looks fantastic. Customer growth, 5 million customers in quarter three, which is phenomenal. I got to rush through it though. Revenue beat massively in quarter three. Gross profit grew 47% versus a year ago. Loving it. Beat estimates by 400 million, which is huge. Going into the chart, I usually don't do Fibonacci, but it just works so well here that I wanted to show it. I do believe that we will see a rebound of new holdings. Will it be very soon? Maybe not. But overall, I do think that we will be seeing a fairly significant rebound. This is their IPO value right here. They opened at 11.25 basically, which I believe is the price that they IPO'd at. And since then, they have gained so much value, at least from what I see, that it would shock me if they do not go much, much higher from here. I'm honestly expecting a ton of growth. My own personal prediction is all-time highs within at least probably 6 months, in my opinion. So definitely something to watch out for. But yeah, that is all I got for new holdings. Definitely an interesting one to do some research on. Make sure to look into it more if you're interested. And that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see everybody in the next video.